What up, fellow reviewers? I'm back again with a quick review, and this is on you see on my screen, A Man in Full. And this is very interesting, and I'm trying to make a short video because a lot of things I want to rant, but I'm not. I'm going to give a quick review of it, A Man in Full. So let's talk about it.
I'm not sure who the hell you think you're talking to.
I'm talking to a man who owes this bank $800 million. A man who owes 6 other banks another $400 million. A person who is over $1 billion in debt. I'm talking to a shithead.
I am a legitimate and good businessman.
Nothing here is legitimate, sir. This here is one of the worst cases of corporate mismanagement that I have ever seen. And trust me, I stare down the gullet of malfeasance every day. You, sir, have taken $800 million from this bank to do what? Fly around in your private jets, buy big plantations so you can shoot quail. You think you can just go hog wild? That nobody can touch you? Well, I've got news for you, sir. This ain't Saturday night no more. Party's over.
All right, so A Man in Full, you have it's starring Jeff Daniels, and is also directed by Regina King as well. You guys notable faces here. You got William Jackson Harper. He's playing Mayor of Atlanta. Of course, you got Jeff Daniels. He's playing Charlie Croker. So basically, Charlie Croker is example of like a Donald Trump, or has a lot of money, or a very businessman like the Jeff Bezos, things like that. But the thing is that he the way he got it, he probably did his little things dirty, and maybe some shady business deals, things like that. So what's happening? The bank is after him basically. You have one employee, name is Raymond Pigington. He calls him PP in the show. And that basically he went against them and gave information to the bank that he's loaned money to, plus other banks as well. He owes almost $1 billion. Basically, they're trying to do a shakedown on him. And Jeff Daniels plays Charlie Croker. Basically, he's a known nonsense person that he takes charge. He don't care. In the show, it portrays this kind of comical a little bit, but also shows that even though he did a shady things, he's not a totally bad guy. Okay, and he also has his lawyer as well, played by Amal Eamon. His name is Roger White. He's kind of an upstanding lawyer. He does everything that's right, and he basically he goes by the book and tries to do the right way. He also has like I said, he has a friend, William Jackson. He's playing Wes Jordan, playing the mayor of Atlanta, and he needs his help basically. So he's helping him. He's helping Crocker try to get out of his financial situation, and that's all it how it begins. Of course, you also have Diane Lane in here. She does a fantastic job. She plays his ex-wife. You have Lucy Liu in here. She kind of playing the lawyer for Diane, because she helps her out basically. But all in all, this show is not a bad show, and you have different plots. So the one of the plot you have where you have William Jordan playing the mayor, and he asking for Roger White, that's Jeff Daniels or Crocker's lawyer, because he wants to get some dirt because he's running a mayor election and things like that. So he wants dirt. So you chop with that. You have another line of the story where you have Charlie Crocker's assistant. Her husband got an altercation with Meaner Maid, and things happen. And spoiler alert, I mean, he punches the cop. But that storyline felt like it's forced. It felt like it's forced where you did something to a cop, but when they tried to help you out or tried to give you certain things, you want to stand by your morals and stay in the prison, and things happen in the prison. But I feel like things that happen in the prison because he goes to jail because of punching a cop doesn't move the story along at all. It might show that Charlie Croker, Jeff Daniels' character, that wants to help, but that's about it. It doesn't add levity to the story. I mean, Regina King does okay directing, but the writing just felt like they were forcing things in the show wasn't necessary. But yeah, the part where every time it went to the scene where the other side story of the character, which is played by John Michaels playing Connor Hensley, he's the one that hit the cop. They try to make you want to feel for this person the reason why he did it, things like that. I mean, I get that, but it doesn't still makes no sense within the show. It's late. It feel like it's lazy, and it feel like it's being forced upon me to care about this character that did something very stupid and had opportunities to kind of get out of it, but standing by your morals, and I get that, but I still feel like this was not necessary in the show. I felt like it was forced. They said this is based on a book, which I probably won't read anyway. But if this in the book, it probably is done better in the book. But for the show, it makes no sense. If you took that part about that side story about him getting in trouble, Crocker's lawyer trying to help him, and all that, if you take that out of this show, it doesn't change it at all. The best part about the show is Jeff Daniels. Him playing the cocky businessman that don't take nothing from nobody, that done everything he could, that he does fight very, very dirty. Every time he's on the screen, it's phenomenal. It's so powerful when he's on the screen. You kind of get you rooting for him, even though he probably did a lot of shady stuff. He can be disgusting sometimes. He can be overbearing sometimes. He can be cocky. So, but all in all, you still kind of rooting for him in this. And every time Jeff Daniels on the screen, it's powerful. It's can get funny sometimes. But after that, when it goes to the other characters, especially the guy that got in trouble, that's John Michael's character. When you go to those scenes, I fast forward through it because I find it's ridiculous. I just find it so boring because it doesn't push the story along. But besides that, it is a very good show, very good story, and I wanted more of that. But I felt like you didn't get enough. I felt like it kept going to these side stories. I was like, didn't need to. And you wonder how he's going to get out of this. How is he going to get out of this situation that if the bank takes all his assets, he's going to leave broke. He's going to have nothing. He's going to be basically poor. And it makes you keep watching because you want to find out how he's going to get out of this. He tries to get help. He tries different type of ways to try to get out of this and not take all his money, take all his assets. So he tries to find a way, and that's compelling. That makes you want to, what's he going to do? How he's going to get out of this? That's what I liked about it, But the best part of the show is Jeff Daniels. Every time Jeff Daniels on the screen is good. The character playing his lawyer, Roger White, that's played by Amal Amin. I mean, he does fantastic. Every time he's on the screen, he commands the screen as well as his lawyer. As like, I'm smart, I know what I'm doing. Oh, that's fantastic. That's good. But I felt like they took him, and instead of having more with him and Jeff Daniels back and forth, which was good, you got a lot more of him helping out the secretary's husband that got in trouble with the cop, helping him a lot. And he found ways to help him, but it keeps the character, John Michael that plays the Conrad, he has some type of morals that the judge tried to give him this. He's like, oh, that's not right. I shouldn't get out anyway, or the bond's this much, or the bond is crazy. It's just the thing is that they do certain things, and you just ask yourself, well, if you just would have done this, it'd have been done already. But you have morals, and you would do the right thing, but you still did something when you were supposed to. But the cop did something was supposed to either. I get that, but you still kind of forcing it. I see the big picture of this that, of traumatic situations, traumatic issues we had with the cops, things like that. I feel like they're putting so much emphasis on the cops, which we know there's bad cops and there's good cops as well. But I felt like, they wanted to harp on it so much. It was not necessary in this show. It was ridiculous. Yes, he was getting harassed by the cops, but what led up to that? And it shows you he was doing certain things that were out of the question. I'm like, stuff he was doing unnecessary. This man, this mogul, this Amazon / Donald Trump type of guy, fantastic because he's funny. There's certain scenes when he does is ridiculous, but it shows of his character that, he's like a man's man, from back in the day. Even though he didn't do huge crimes, like white collar crimes, but he didn't really touch too much of what certain things he's done. But he probably done certain things that are shady, and that he took a lot of loans out and doing certain things he's not paying for. So it's a lot of things like that. They could have put more in depth in a little bit to give us a little bit more of a backstory. I would rather have them show more backstory of Jeff Daniels' character of Charlie Croker, show more backstory of that. I got to certain things instead of this side story about this guy that hit a cop that went to jail, that's fighting to get out and things like that. That it was stupid. It's like one scene in one scene they show him in the jail and he's being compassionate and the prisoners don't like it. Then out of nowhere somebody was trying to harass him and I don't know where we find out he knows how to fight and fights in the jail. I'm like, this is useless storytelling that does not push the narrative along in this show, and it's ridiculous. Like I said, they should have given us more of Jeff Daniels' character, more about Charlie Croker, how he got to certain things in his to this point. Show more of that backstory, and they don't show that. And I find it so frustrating, especially when they kept going back to that character. The thing was okay. The writing felt sloppy, but I wanted more of Jeff Daniels' character. Like I said, every time he was on the screen as Charlie Croker, he commanded the screen. He took hold of it, and that's what intrigued me. Just like you saw the little scene at the beginning of the video, as you saw, where that back and forth with him and Bill Camp playing as one of the lawyers. That loved it. Every time you had that on the screen, how big how big am I? How men are. That I like. The side story is not. The trailers intrigued me. Jeff Daniels intrigued me. He's a good actor, but the side story that's dealing with John Michael playing Conrad and Amel Amin playing Roger White, the lawyer, I felt that was useless. That was poor storytelling and felt forced. All in all, I give this show out of a 5. I give it, as I really talk about it now, which you can add in more, I give it 2.5. It's not a horrible show, but this show has so much potential, and I felt like it failed at certain points. And side note, I'm not spoiling it, but the ending is very anticlimactic. I was looking for more of it, but it was very anticlimactic. It wasn't what my expectation was going to have for the ending of this show. It's a limited series, so I don't think they're gonna make another one in the way it ended. I don't know, but Netflix has something here, but the side stories, the side plots of the story, and focusing too much on that and not enough on Jeff Daniels' character. That's what failed this show. That's what failed it. But if you saw A Man in Full, starring Jeff Daniels, Diane Lane, Lucy Liu, if you've seen it, if you enjoyed it, tell me why. If you didn't enjoy it, tell me why as well. I was hoping this would be better than what it was, and it didn't drop the ball. All the stuff from Jeff Daniels and Charlie Croker, I wanted more of that. Everything else with the side characters, with Conrad played by John Michael and Roger White and him in jail, stuff like that, wasn't necessary. They should have took that out. They should have rewrote that, and that was ridiculous. But if you've seen A Man in Full, leave a comment below. Please share and like. Please subscribe, share, and like this video. I'll have more reviews from Netflix, some other shows that I'm watching on Netflix. I might do one, a Baby Reindeer, just a quick, how I feel about it. But until then, guys, until next review, peace.